Okay, beautiful people, it's your mentor Tumelo JPY here. Welcome to another YouTube video where I'm going to be showing you guys how I went about analyzing and trading AUD CAD for the past few weeks, right? So the first thing that I did was that, okay, I firstly started by identifying my previous market structure, you understand? So let's just start from here. This is on an 8-hour time frame. I firstly identified my highs and lows, right? I firstly identified my what? I firstly identified my highs and lows. You understand? I firstly did what? My highs and lows, and then I went on and tried to understand my trend rules and trend properties. So the first thing that you all can see here is that, okay, price is pushing on a bearish structure, right? And then with price pushing to the bearish structure, the first thing that we need to know is that, okay, every time you're on a bearish structure, we want to always take our lows out and then remain with what? Remain with what you call strong highs. You understand? So as you can see here that, okay, price does what? It pushes to the downside, take this low out. About that, just goes down to take this low out. Once it takes that low out, does this high take the previous one out? No. And then automatically this becomes our strong high. We have another break at this low here. And then this means that now this will be the strong high. Yes, most of you guys are gonna say that, okay, price broke this high here, but the question is, does price break and close above this high? No. And then what I want us to focus on is the lower high. You understand? So this is the lower high that managed to do what? To take the low out. You understand? As you can see that, okay, we have that break there, the low, and then we have this guy here as a strong high. You understand? So since oil price was pushing to the downside beautifully, so it kept on doing what? Creating what we call a bearish order flow. So a bearish order flow occurs when price does what? It respects both the trend properties and trend rules. As you can see here, that, okay, the trend kept on breaking our lows till this trend did what? It ended up taking out this high here. We all know that, okay, on a downtrend, what exactly do you want to see? You want to see price taking out our lows, not our highs. But the minute we see price taking out this high here, this means that, okay, there might be a possible change of character. You understand? As you can see here, that, okay, price creates the change of character, and then this will definitely be my what? This will be my definitely my low. You understand? This will be my low. And then now what happens afterwards is that, okay, I'm gonna look for a high. You understand? So this will be my high here. So let's say that, okay, this zone here will be defined as my newly formulated high. You understand? So this will be my new high. So this will be my new high. So now what exactly am I gonna do as Tumelo JPY? What I'm gonna do is that, okay, I'm gonna try to look for an entry point that can push price to the upside. Why? Because we are looking forward to switching our structure from a bearish structure to a bullish structure. So if you take a fib from your low to your high, you'll see that, okay, at this zone here, we are definitely gonna look for what you call a golden zone, right? A golden zone entry point. You're gonna look for what? For a golden zone entry point. You understand? Which means this is where we are gonna be looking forward to taking our buying opportunities, right? As you can see here, that, okay, price has 0% drawdown entry point. And then what exactly do we see afterwards? Price does what? It continues to push to the upside. So with price pushing to the upside, what does it do? It continues to do what? To create a bullish structure, which means that now, since when we know that, okay, we are switching from a bearish structure to a bullish structure, we always want to do what? We always want to remind ourselves that, okay, our lows will forever be strong and then our highs will forever be weak. Why? Because of highs shall always be taken out on an uptrend and then lows shall always be strong. You understand? So price will keep on pushing to the upside, and then till a specific zone. There's a specific zone that I want us to focus on. You understand? As you can see here, that, okay, we also have a break at this high. When we have a break at this high like this, what does this teach you? It teaches you that, okay, we have this high, and then we have this low here as our strong low, and then we have this high here as our newly formulated high. Note that, okay, for a low to be valid, price needs to take the previous high out. As you can see, I mean the newly formulated high out. So which means for this low to be considered as a low, it needs to come take this high out. And then for this low to become a strong low, it should not take the previous low out and close below it. As you can see here, that, okay, price failed to do what? Price failed to close below this low here. That is why I cannot consider this thing here as a strong break. So which means here, what is lying? Buy side liquidity, right? We want to see price taking out this high out. If price breaks and close above that high, this means that, okay, we can normally say that, okay, there is a break at that high. As you can see that, okay, we confirm that there's what? There's a break at this high here, and then this will be our strong low now. You understand? So price continues to do what? push, bullishly so, creating all these small impulses here. You understand? So this is not the zone that I want this to focus on because of the impulses are too small. They can easily be identified on your smaller time frame, right? I want this to focus on this one here, the continuation one, just right here. So what exactly do we see? Price creates a new high here, right? So this will be our newly formulated high. Price take this high out, and then let me just come with this guy to the upside. And then once this high is formulated here, and then this low is also formulated, this low becomes a strong low when price does what? It takes the high out, right? When price takes the high out. You understand? So when price takes that high out, this means that, okay, this is the newly formulated low. And then price plays around this zone here. And then as you can see, that price doesn't take the previous low out. Then what does it do? It takes the current high out. So which means that, okay, this guy here was our newly formulated high. And then price just took him out. Price just took this guy out, meaning that, okay, now this low will be the strong low. Why? Because of this low did not take this low out, and then this low took the high out, which is what we want to see on an uptrend. Uptrend, weak highs, strong lows. Lows will only be strong when they don't take the previous low out, and it will only be valid lows when they take the high out. Simple as ABC, right? And then there is a specific zone that I want this to specifically focus on. As you can see that, okay, price continues to do what? To create the bullish structure, right? Continues to do what? To create the bullish structure. As you can see here, that, okay, we have what? We have this break here at this high, and then this means that, okay, the low will be considered as a strong low, and then this means that now this high will be considered as a high with what? With buy side liquidity. You understand? Basic information. So which means now we are gonna start looking for entry points within the markets, and then what I want this to do is that, okay, I want this to go to maybe a 2-hour time frame, right? So on a 2-hour time frame, there is something that I managed to do, right? Previously, there is something that I managed to do. What I did was that, okay, I took my selling opportunities till price continued to push to the upside. You understand? I took those selling opportunities till price did what? Till price started pushing to the upside. So how did I do that? So the first thing that I did was that, okay, starting from this zone here, right? Starting from this zone here, if you go to maybe your 15 minutes time frame, just want to show you guys how I scaled down my trades, right? So I saw that, okay, there was a break at this low here, right? There was a break at this low. When I have a break at this low, mind you, we are on a downtrend. And then this will definitely be considered as what? This will definitely be considered as our strong high. You understand? This will definitely be considered as our strong high, which means here now we're gonna have this guy here as our weak low. You understand? We're gonna have this guy here as our weak low, which means our entry points should definitely come out of probably this zone here. You understand? We should be able to take our selling opportunities of this zone here, right? So let's see what price does. Price impulses beautifully to the upside. And then let's just go to our 1-hour time frame so that this thing can be a little bit quick. Understand? So now price does what? It impulses, taps us in, and then what is our main focus? We wanna see price taking out this low out, right? As you can see that, okay, price takes the low out. Once the low has been taken out, what does this mean? This means that, okay, we have what? We have a break at this low here. You understand? We have a break at this low here, right? When we have a break at this low here, this means that, okay, now this high becomes what? It becomes a strong high. You understand? Which means we're looking forward to seeing the market testing a specific zone. So now let's just wait patiently so for price to come test a specific zone. So as you can see here that, okay, now just moved a little bit fast, but I'll show you guys how this went about. This is the low that we want to see price take out now, right? And then probably around, let me just take our fib from this high to this low here, right? Yes, price do take our Fibonacci out, right? Price do take our Fibonacci out, but then does it close above that fib? As long as price doesn't close above that fib, this means that, okay, the zone is valid. So I'm going to use this supply zone here. See this consolidation here. It's referred to me as what? As a supply zone. So a supply is the one that comes below what? Your order block, which means it's the consolidation that comes below your order block after price took a low out. So which means my selling opportunities were going to come from this supply here, the supply area here. The supply area here, right? Let me just go check something on 30 minutes. Then 10 minutes here. Yeah, so this is the zone that I'm specifically talking about. For those of you guys that might be lost or whatever, this is not an order block. An order block is the last candlestick. You understand? Order block is what is the last selling candlestick, which is found somewhere here. This one is the supply zone. So which means now we want to take the selling opportunity to the downside, right? As you can see that, okay, price does what? It beautifully impulses to the downside till it hits our take profit. You understand? And then here, what exactly do we have? We have a break at this low. And then now let's go back to our 2-hour time frame. When we get to our 2-hour time frame, what exactly do we want? If you take a fib from this high, from that low to this zone here, we can see that, okay, price is ranging in between what? Price is ranging in between our golden zone. Yes, price breaks our golden zone. But a simple question, does price break and close above that golden zone? No, doesn't. As you can see that, okay, now what does price do? Price starts to impulse to the upside, right? So most people now, this is where they make most of their mistakes. So most people are going to start looking for maybe, let's say, selling opportunities within the markets here. As you can see that there was a reaction. So you cannot look for any selling opportunities within the markets because of what? We've just stepped into our golden zone, which means we want to do what? We want to start looking for our buying opportunities. You understand? So avoid this mistake here that I normally see from most people. This is the most mistake that I see from most people. But you can see that, okay, price kind of do what? Price kind of respect their zone, and then it ends up doing what? It ends up taking them out. You understand? Once price takes them out, what comes into your mind as a trader? Listen, I was trading in between this high here, right? Which just got taken out. Okay. And then this is the low that brought price to the upside, right? So which means now we have this guy here as our low. So when we have him as our low, this means that, okay, after having this break of structure here, when this high is simply taken out, what do you consider this thing as? We consider this thing here as our change of character. When we have a change of character like this, and then you don't know where specifically to enter, wait for price to create a valid high. So since all this our valid high, you want to take your fib from your low to your high, right? You want to take your fib from your low to your high. And then this will be the zone that you want to do it. This will be the zone that you want to take your buying opportunities from, right? So this is the zone that you want to do it, take your buying opportunities from, which means this zone will be considered as what? As the GZ, golden zone. You understand? That's where you want to do it, take our buying opportunities from. So this one is a failed order block. And then for those of you guys that are interested in this thing, you know that, okay, if you don't want to use this guy here as your order block, as your change of character, you know that, okay, once price respect the supply zone or your order block and fails to take the law out, that thing can be considered as your SMS, shift of market structure. And then this guy here won't be considered as a charge, but a break. Either way, the analysis will remain to be valid. You understand? And then what else can you see? There is a lot of sell side liquidity resting below this time, which means price needs to come tap us in and then start giving us our buy still. It breaks what? It breaks that main high there at the top. Basic analysis, guys, just pure market structure. So price does what? It pushes beautifully to the downside, and that's what? It ends up tapping us in. You understand? Price does what? It taps us in beautifully so. So as you can see that, okay, there was a little bit of what? There was a little bit of price taking us out. But if you are a mature trader, you know that, okay, when you take your buying opportunities, probably you want to risk based on this low here. You understand? So which means this will be your entry, and then your take profit will definitely be around that zone there, which means this will definitely be a 12-hour trade. You understand? As you can see that, okay, price ends up doing what? Pushing impulsively so to the upside. So till our take profit has been hit. So guys, this is how you go about maintaining and understanding like the overall direction of the market. And it comes with understanding the market structure. You understand? The minute you know how to identify your high and your low, which high is valid, which low is not valid, and then which low is valid also, that's the minute you're gonna be able to do it, to not force price, but to understand how price moves. Because if you look properly, this is a 12-hour trade. There are several trades that I took also at the zone here. You understand? Which is this sell here. That's the first one that I also took. And then we also have what? We also have another sell that we can see here that I also managed to take. And then okay, this one we took it, but I think most of the time when you have this type of setups here, we all know that, okay, that's what a break-even type of setup. And then also manage to take that price to the upside afterwards. You understand? But the moral of the story is not about the type of entry point that I took. It's about what? It's about how I went about trading this guy. As you can see, our take profit has been hit, and automatically we have what? a break on a high. When we have a break on a high, what does this mean? This means that, okay, this low here, where is that low? Yeah, this is our high, and then this is the low that took the high out. This low here becomes what? It becomes a strong low. You understand? Which means we're definitely looking forward to price retesting probably around that zone and then giving us those buying opportunities to the upside. You understand? But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys managed to enjoy this video. So this is the type of content that I'm going to be dropping most of the time, right? Kindly make sure that, okay, you subscribe and then you comment and then you hit that like button, right? Wishing you guys nothing but a profitable week. Happy trading, beautiful people.